So hey besties, let's go make dinner for that man and I'm chilling y'all. And today we are doing a fried basket. I am so excited about this, so let's get started. So first thing we're going to do is start off with making our batter. And we're going to go in with some flour. Next we're going to go ahead and add in some cornmeal. And after we add in some cornmeal, we're going to go ahead and season it real good. We're going to add in some garlic powder. Then we're going to add in a little bit of paprika because you know I like paprika. So go ahead and add your paprika in there. After you get your paprika in there, we're going to go on ahead and add some all-purpose seasoning. After you get that all-purpose seasoning in there, you could go ahead and add you in a little bit of Old Bay. Get that Old Bay seasoning in there, and then we're going to go ahead and make sure that we give it a good mix. After we got all our seasonings combined together, this is what your batter should look like. Now, I know a lot of people like to go to the supermarket or the fish market and buy their own fried batter. I like to make mine at home. I feel like it comes out better when you make it at home. If it's convenience, then go ahead, go to the market, go pick it up. It's quick and easy. But you can also make it at home when you have time. Make it in a big batch and put it in your container and store some for later. You can add as little as much ingredients as you like. You can also add some cornstarch in there if you like to make yours a little extra crispy. I didn't have none, so I didn't add none in there, but this is what it came out looking like, and it looked just like the one that you would buy in a supermarket. So now we have some whiting fish, and we're going to go ahead and clean off our whiting. And yes, I clean my fish off, so we're going to go ahead and add some vinegar to it. And after we add some vinegar, we're just going to go ahead and add us a little bit of some cool water, and we're going to let it sit for a few minutes, and then we're going to rinse it off. And I'm going to continue to repeat this until my water is running nice and clear. Sometimes to me, fish has a little bit of a fish smell on there, and I don't like that fish smell. So the way I get rid of it is just some vinegar, or you can use some lemon, lime, whichever one you have, some cool water, and then you're just going to let it sit for a few minutes. Rinse until your water runs clear. Once your water is running clear and that fish smell is gone, we are good and ready to go. We can go ahead and start seasoning our fish. Now, while I'm going ahead getting my seafood ready, we're going to go ahead and get us a pot, put some oil on, and start bringing our oil up to temperature. By the time we're done seasoning and cleaning off all of our seafood, our oil should be nice and hot where we can go ahead, just batter up our fish, and we're good and ready to go to drop it in the fryer. Now that I got my fish cleaned off to my liking, I'm going to go ahead and start seasoning it, and we're going to go in with some mustard first. So when it comes to frying, I like to do mustard fried. So I make sure I go ahead and get me some regular mustard. It doesn't have to be any particular mustard, but as you can see, we was running out of mustard, so we was really shaking that thing, trying to get that mustard up out of there. After I add my mustard in there, I'm going to go ahead and add me some hot sauce. Now, the mustard and the hot sauce, you're honestly not going to taste, but we're just going to use it as a binder to make sure that whatever you're battering your fish with and whatever you're seasoning your fish with, it sticks to the fish so you actually taste those flavors. We're going to go ahead and with a little bit of Old Bay, and we're using the garlic and herb Old Bay. I'm also going to add in some onion and garlic powder as well. They do make it where you can get both mixed together in a jar, so we're going to go ahead and add that in there. After that, we're going to go ahead and add that paprika because you know I love me some paprika. Now, we're going to not add too much seasoning because remember, our batter is already seasoned, but we're still going to add just a little bit to give the fish some flavor. Go ahead and add some all-purpose seasoning, and we're going to give that a good mix. Next, we're going to start preparing our lobster tails. So I took mine out a little bit late, so they were still frozen. So we're just going to go ahead and fluff our tails, and then we're going to put it aside to continue to defrost it. Now, this lobster tail is frozen. I always recommend for you to wait until your lobster tail is fully defrosted if this is something you are not comfortable with doing, and if you don't have a really sharp pair of kitchen scissors or a really sharp knife where you're able to cut through it frozen and not mess up the integrity of the lobster tail. So now I already got my shell split down the middle. You're not going to cut it all the way. You're just going to cut the top part because you want it to stay intact, because your lobster tail has to sit on top of the shell in order for it to be properly fluffed. Now we're going to go ahead, tuck the shell underneath the meat, spread it out, and as you can see, it's still completely frozen, but we were able to fluff our tail. Going to go ahead and remove the legs from the bottom, and we're going to put it to the side, and so we're good and ready for it. Now that our oil is nice and hot, we're going to go ahead and take our fish. We're going to batter it in some of our batter. Make sure we get that fish evenly covered. You want to make sure all parts of the fish is covered in our homemade fish fry. And then we are going to go ahead and drop it in the oil. Once your oil is hot and you drop your fish in, this is how your oil should respond to your fish. If your oil does not respond like that, that means it's still cold. We're going to go ahead and check and see how our fish is coming along. And it is a beautiful golden brown, but I like mine extra crispy, so I'm going to leave it in there just a few more minutes to make sure it's real crispy, and then we're going to go ahead and take it out. Now it's time to go ahead and batter up those scallops. We're going to use that same batter, get an even coat on top of our scallops. Once our scallops got an even batter on there, we're going to go ahead and drop that in the oil and get them nice and crispy as well. And it doesn't take long, only a few minutes, just like cooking shrimp, just a few minutes, and they are good and ready to come out. After we get our scallops done, we are going to go ahead and start battering our lobster tail. That is going to be the last part that we cook. And as you can see, the big difference in the lobster tail once it is fully defrosted. I wanted to make sure that we saved that part for last because I wanted to give it enough time to defrost. For us next time, I'll just take it out in advance. So now that we got our lobster tail completely covered, you want to make sure you got the top part, the bottom part, underneath the shell, everything fully battered. We're going to go ahead and put it in the oil. After our lobster tail is done, our scallops is done, our fish is done, this is what our fry basket looks like. We're going to go ahead and put some french fries in the oil, and then we're going to go ahead and call that man and children and tell them that dinner is served. It is time to come eat, y'all. Get you some hot sauce, some tartar sauce, some ketchup, or whatever it is you like to put on your side, and come have your fry basket. And if you love these videos, make sure you subscribe. Don't forget to hit the like button for me. Leave me a comment in the comment section. I love to read you guys' comments, and don't forget to share. Bye guys.